UFC Fight Night, Des Moines, Iowa, just concluded. Fight Night, Sanhagen versus Figueiredo. Man, it was a late fight night. I'm gonna be honest. Did not expect it to go so late, but they started a bit later. Solid fight night. Not the best fight night. I'm gonna be honest. It was a little bit disappointing until the end, but we're gonna break down the entire thing. I'm gonna recap, starting with the early prelim, ending with the main event, giving my recap and breakdown for every single fight. But before we go ahead and get into it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's start it off with the early prelim opener of Juliana Miller versus Ivana Petrovic. Boring fight. I'm going to be honest. Boring fight. A lot of people picked Ivana Petrovic. I picked Ivana Petrovic. Thought she was the better MMA fighter. Clearly wasn't. She was better on the feet. She was outstriking Juliana Miller. Miller clearly did not know how to strike with Ivana. Got outstruck, but Miller just got the takedowns, rode her on the back, was able to hold her down on the back. Really awkward positions, boring, clinched up against the fence, really boring stuff. But Juliana Miller did threaten some submissions, was getting the dominant positions, clearly won the fight. Ivana Petrovic did land the more shots on Juliana Miller, but Miller was scrappy. She made it really competitive, and Ivana Petrovic just wasn't able to deal with the pressure, deal with the scrambles, and Juliana Miller made it dirty, which is what she had to do to get the win. So I started off the night with a terrible prediction, and I had a lot of bad predictions on this card, I will be honest, but at least the people that I was confident in did win. But we will move on to the next fight. Thomas Peterson versus Dontel Mays. Another fight where, a fighter was stuck on their back and wasn't able to get out of a position. Dontel Mays, man, when he's on the ground, he's literally like a whale on the beach, man. He's like a whale on a beach. He's not able to move. He's not able to do anything. And that's what Thomas Peterson did, man. He took down Dontel Mays, landed the better shots, landed some ground and pound throughout the fight. For 3 rounds straight, Thomas Peterson was on top of Dontel Mays, landing ground and pound. Really, dominant position for Thomas Peterson. He did what he had to do to beat Dontel Mays. It was the perfect way to beat Dontel Mays. But, why does it say heavy good vehicles, man? Wait, I just realized that. Maybe you guys can't see that, actually, because of my camera. That is really weird. But yeah, Thomas Peterson did what he had to do to beat Dontel Mays. Got a nice unanimous decision. He had an arm triangle, I believe, in round 1. He had it a couple times. I thought he was going to pull it off. Wasn't able to do so. Dontel Mays was fairly defensively sound when it came to submission attempts. Thomas Peterson just got kind of tired, wasn't able to wrap up the choke, and didn't look for a rear naked, which he could have gotten throughout the fight. But he got a nice decision over Dontel Mays. Cut Dontel Mays, man. He should have been cut a while ago. Not UFC worthy and not UFC level, man. Good win by Thomas Peterson to get him back in the win column. We move on, though, to the next fight. Gaston Bolanos versus Quang Lee. This was a scrap, man. This was a scrap for as long as it lasted, but it was clear that Quang Lee had a perfect path to victory. He took that path and he executed it perfectly. Gaston Bolanos, I thought he was going to win. I thought he was going to be the better striker. I thought he was going to be able to keep it on the feet, kickbox his way to a nice decision, or maybe even a late TKO over Quang Lee, who we saw get TKO'd in his last fight late in the 3rd round, right? Where he was kind of gassed out and just got finished. But Quang Lee is good. He is very good, and he knew where he wanted to take this fight, and that was to the ground. We had 3 fights in a row where we had a fighter that was like, okay, my path to victory is take this fight to the ground, use my wrestling against my opponent who doesn't know how to wrestle or doesn't know how to defend takedowns as well, and that worked for those 3 fighters in a row. We had Juliana Miller, we had Thomas Peterson, and then Quang Lee, and Quang Lee was able to find the choke in round 2. Round 1, he got takedowns on Gaston Bolanos, got the takedown early. Bolanos did kind of hold up and was able to shuck off a couple takedowns, but did eventually get taken down, got his back taken, was able to be safe from the rear naked choke. But then in round 2, Quang Lee was able to get that position again and instead got on top of Gaston Bolanos, had his back and was on top, got the rear naked choke, sunk it in. The ref could not see that Gaston Bolanos was completely unconscious. Quang Lee had to tell him, and I think if Quang Lee didn't say anything, the ref would have let Gaston Bolanos die. He would have let him die, but Quang Lee got a nice submission, nice rear naked choke, really dirty rear naked choke on Gaston Bolanos. Clean stuff by him. Great way to get back in the win column. Great way to put a statement out there, man. Gaston Bolanos, not the most impressive fighter, but definitely was a scary kickboxer, and Quang Lee did what he had to do. You mixed up the mixed martial arts and was able to get a nice rear naked choke. Good win by Quang Lee. We move on, though. Marina Rodriguez versus Jillian Robertson, man. Jillian Robertson is a problem at strawweight. She is really nasty at strawweight. Is just absolutely mauling girls and is able to dominate them. I mean, she just dominated Marina Rodriguez. Really, really good win by her. Round one did exactly what she had to do. I mean, this was fight after fight after fight of fighters just knowing that they want to get the takedown, knowing that they want to get it to the ground. And it was 4 fights straight. I didn't even realize it was 4 fights straight of takedowns and either getting finishes on the ground or just getting dominant position and grinding out a decision. Jillian Robertson got a nice TKO ground and pound over Marina Rodriguez in round two. Round one, she got the takedown on Marina Rodriguez fairly easily with a single leg. Got the takedown, was able to get top position, rain those shots down, and she's been improving her ground and pound. She has the submissions. I believe she's tied. I think she tied Amanda. What's her name? Holy moly! The best WMMA fighter of all. I can't think of her name right now. I can't think of her name, but she's tied the record for the amount of finishes in WMMA, which is very impressive. And she's got great top control. Her top control is really, really good. Her submission game is really, really good. But she improved her ground and pound really well, man. From top position when she's on top, full mount, even half mount, and she's got the side of you. She's able to land those shots on you and connect on you. And then in round two, she was able to get that single leg on Marina Rodriguez again. Rodriguez kind of threatened a bit of a guillotine choke or a ninja choke, wasn't able to pull it off. Jillian Robertson popped her head out. She was on top, full mount, landing ground and pound, and Marina Rodriguez had to get finished. I mean, the ref had to stop it. She was going to keep going with the ground and pound. Unfortunately, Marina Rodriguez retired, but she is 38 years old. She's had a long career. She deserves to retire. Great win by Jillian Robertson, though. She's in the top 10, man. You love to see Canadian WMMA. We got Jillian Robertson and we got Jasmine Jasudavicius fighting next weekend. You love to see it. Future champions in strawweight and is it strawweight and bantamweight? I think strawweight, bantamweight. I'm not too sure what division Jasmine Jasudavicius is in, but both these women very dominant. Excited to see her fight next weekend. We move on, though, to the next fight, Ryan Loder versus Azamat Bakoyev. This was a scrap for as long as it lasted. Did not think this one was going to end in the first round, but Azamat Bakoyev is an absolute bowling ball, an absolute unit, and he's got a lot of power. He put it to use against Ryan Loder. Ryan Loder, D1 wrestler, came in, knew where he wanted to take this fight. He tried to get the takedown on Azamat Bakoyev, but Bakoyev is just a ball of muscle. Ryan Loder shot in a double leg, wasn't able to even shuck Azamat to the ground. Azamat just literally shucked Loder off. The power was immediately evident by Bakoyev. I don't know if he's juicing. He looks like a Michael Chandler of middleweight, man. I'm be honest. He's really big, really strong, and he unloads on you. He cranks right and left hooks like crazy. That's what he did on Ryan Loder. Loder tried to strike with him. You got to respect Loder for trying to put on a performance and trying to strike with Bakoyev, but Bakoyev just got the better of him in the striking exchanges. Bakoyev pushed Ryan Loder up against the fence, unleashed combinations of left, right, and ended up connected 3 in a row. I believe it was a left hook, right hook, left hook. Dropped Loder and finished him on the ground. I mean, Ryan Loder was pretty much completely out. Azamat Bakoyev just nasty power, really, really nasty power. I don't know if he just naturally has that power or if he's juicing, man, with the Russian juices. I'm not too sure. But we'll see what happens with Azamat Bakoyev in the future. Really powerful dude. He's dangerous, man. He's very dangerous. Good win by him. We move on to the final prelim. Yana Santos versus Miesha Tate. Don't know why this was the prelim main event. I think it's because Miesha Tate is an ex-champion. Fair enough. But this was a so-so fight. It was a so-so fight. Yana Santos, I picked Miesha Tate, thought she was going to get the takedowns. And when she got the takedown, it was evident that she was able to get a dominant position and win rounds. If she was able to get those takedowns in round 1 and round 2, she would have won this fight for sure, because Yana Santos on the ground just is quite useless, to be honest. But Miesha Tate wasn't able to do that, wasn't able to close the distance. Yana Santos landed the better shots, had good takedown defense early on in the fight, landed some nice straight left, straight right down the pipe, connected on Miesha Tate, also landed some good knees in the clinch, and Tate just kind of seemed a bit slower. She came out rushing at Yana Santos, but Santos was able to slow the pace down, bring it down to her own pace, and just connect with the clean, better shots, and was able to defend every single takedown until the third round, where Misha Tate landed a takedown at the end of the round, about 2 minutes 30 into that round, got the takedown, had the back of Yana Santos, was threatening a rear naked choke. She got full mount, should have just rained down shots, but then went for the back, went for a submission. It was the wrong move. Yana Santos was able to survive off of her back for the rest of the round and got a unanimous decision. Good win by Yana Santos. She is the younger, fresher fighter, but Misha Tate, I'm obviously she's 38 years old, but she did do well in that third round. And if she did stay on full mount, I think she could have won that fight. But good win by Yana Santos nonetheless. We move on to the main card. Jeremy Stevens versus Mason Jones. This was low-key a good scrap for as long as it lasted. I mean, it lasted the entire 3 rounds, but round 3, Mason Jones made it boring. Lots of wrestling on this card. I'm going to be honest. There was a lot of wrestling. Iowa does love their wrestling, but they were booing in this fight when Mason Jones took Jeremy Stevens down. But for the first 2 rounds, Mason Jones kind of just decided to stand and bang with Jeremy Stevens, which you got to respect. I mean, they were throwing bombs at each other. Mason Jones was obviously the more active fighter, but when Jeremy Stevens connected, he still had power. It showed that he still had that power in his hands, and he wobbled Mason Jones a couple times with some right hooks, but Mason Jones, survived. He was cut on the face, so was Jeremy Stevens. And, Mason Jones just mixed it up better. It was clear, age difference, was able to mix it up better. Some spinning elbows, spinning wheel kick, some nice body kicks, head kicks, was able to just really mix up his artillery really well. And then he was able to finish off rounds by getting a takedown. I think he finished round 1 with a takedown, finished round 2 with a takedown, and round 3 got a takedown fairly early on because he didn't want to risk losing. He even said it on the mic afterwards. Kind of funny by him, but fair enough, man. Good win over Jeremy Stevens. Stevens put up a good fight, though, and it was a good fight while it was on the feet. When it was on the feet, these guys were throwing hands. Really fun fight, but good win by Mason Jones. We move on. Cameron Smotherman versus Serhai Saidi. A lot of people picked Cameron Smotherman. This was tough. It was close for the beginning of it, but Cameron Smotherman's a lot smaller than Serhai Saidi. He did just get outsized, outbullied by Serhai Saidi, who mixed it up really well. Nice strikes straight down the middle, used his size and his little bit of reach advantage to his advantage, man, and was able to land the cleaner shots. Got some takedowns as well on Cameron Smotherman, which really helped him. Round 1 and round 2 and round 3. He got a takedown every single round, I believe. Actually, maybe not round 3. No, round 3 he did get a takedown. He almost choked out Cameron Smotherman in round 3, actually. So he got the takedowns and outstriked Cameron Smotherman. Smotherman's a good boxer, but when it comes to takedown defense and when it comes to his defense on the feet in general, it just wasn't very good. So Serhai Saidi gets himself a nice unanimous decision. In round 3 as well, he locked up a Darce choke, almost had it sunken in. Kind of had the Islam Makhachev grab the wrist to try to slide for the Darce choke. Wasn't able to fully get it sunken in, though. Cameron Smotherman survived, but Serhai Saidi ended the fight on a good note and got a clear unanimous decision. Good for him, man. We move on to the next fight. The most boring fight on the entire card. Fuck Daniel Marcos. This dude does not deserve a shot at the rankings. Did not deserve a shot at the rankings. Montel Jackson beats him by unanimous decision. I got nothing to say about this fight. Daniel Marcos was a coward. He was a coward. He held Montel Jackson for the entirety of the fight, tried to get offensive takedowns, tried to just hold him, didn't even try to strike with him, didn't want to let Montel even go for anything. And when Montel did strike, he outpieced Daniel Marcos everywhere, was able to just destroy him on the feet, and then was able to even get some takedowns on Daniel Marcos. Marcos is just clearly got away with some really good robbery decisions, man. A lot of split decisions over Davy Grant, his last one over Adrian Yanez, like a lot of just undeserving wins, man. Undeserving wins. He loses a 0. Good shit by Montel Jackson. Thank you, Montel Jackson. Get Daniel Marcos out of here, man. If he was in the rankings, that would have pissed a lot of people off. I was worried this was going to somehow go to a split decision because Daniel Marcos just literally gets the best robbery split decisions, but I'm glad the judges did score this unanimous for Montel Jackson. We move on to the next fight, Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Daniel Rodriguez. This was a good unk-on-unk battle, man. This was one of my more favorited fights on this card. You knew this was going to be a scrap. Both these guys came out swinging, both 38 years old, same height, same reach about. Like, this was a good fight. This was a really good fight. First round, they were wobbling each other a bit. I mean, Santiago Ponzinibbio, whenever he got clipped, he'd wobble himself. Whenever he threw a shot at Daniel Rodriguez, he kind of wobbled himself. And I was like, okay, yeah, like this could be bad if Rodriguez really connects. And throughout the fight, I mean, they were tagging each other back and forth, some nice jabs, some nice hooks, not really too many clashes, a couple here and there, wobbling each other, but not like excessively. And Daniel Rodriguez landed a very clean combination, like left, right, like very clean combo in round 3, dropped Santiago Ponzinibbio bad, and finished him up with a singular ground and pound shot. Really nice win by Daniel Rodriguez. Got a nice KO, man. Really, really clean stuff. Santiago Ponzinibbio, he was landing throughout the fight, but he just looked like he was wobbly the entire time, like he was Bambi the entire fight. So nice TKO by Daniel Rodriguez. We move on to the next fight, to the co-main event, Reinier de Ridder versus Bo Nickel, boys. Hey, I picked Bo Nickel, but I was rooting Reinier de Ridder. I said there was a solid chance Reinier de Ridder would pull this off, and he pulled it off by TKO against Bo Nickel in round 2. Can't believe he got it done by TKO. Amazing finish by Reinier de Ridder. Bo Nickel just project, absolutely project. You love to see it. You love to see these zeros disappearing in 2025. In the big 2025, undefeated prospects don't exist. You love it. But RDR got a beautiful finish over Bo Nickel, had a perfect game plan, went in for the wrestling, put the pressure on Bo Nickel round 1, came at him, clinched up, threw knees, tried to get the takedowns. Bo Nickel's a really good wrestler. He is still a really good wrestler. So Reinier de Ridder wasn't able to get the takedowns. He did end up getting on top position in round 1 for a little bit. Bo Nickel reversed the positions. It was a little bit back and forth, but Reinier de Ridder did end round 1 on top of Bo Nickel, landing some nice ground and pound. Didn't really threaten any submissions. Kind of leaned for a little bit of a triangle, but didn't end up fully committing. Round 2 came out, put the pressure back on Bo Nickel, and that was the main thing, was the pressure of Reinier de Ridder. The pressure of RDR was just perfect. Perfect game plan. Pressure Bo Nickel, target his body, target his liver, tried to shut him down, and that's exactly what he did. Reinier de Ridder was coming at Bo Nickel and used the hands, man. He didn't even need to take it to the ground. Used the hands. He was threatening the takedowns, threatening the submissions a bit, but that kind of distracted Bo Nickel from the fact that Reinier de Ridder can be dangerous on the feet, and he was, man, very dangerous. He practiced his boxing, he worked on his striking, and got a nice knee TKO over Bo Nickel, man. Knee to the liver, just gutted Bo Nickel and dropped him up against the cage, and Reinier de Ridder finished it off with one shot. Didn't even need an extra shot, didn't need a follow-up shot. Bo Nickel crumbled to the ground by one beautiful RDR knee, man. You love to see it. We might get RDR versus DDP in the future. That would be a dream fight. Dream fight, man. But this dude is worth it. He's worth it. He's ready for the rankings. And he just proved to everybody, man, he's not to be messed with. He may have a goofy style. He may have a goofy build, but he's good. He's a good MMA fighter. He can TKO you. He can submit you. I mean, 100% finish rate in the UFC now, 3-fight win streak. He's in the rankings. I think give him a top 10 opponent for sure. Great win by RDR. Amazing to see him fraud check Bo Nickel. He was like a minus, I think he was like a plus 300, plus 400. Crazy work. If you tailed that, good shit, boys. We move on, though, to the main event. Corey Sandhagen versus Davison Figueiredo. I called this. I called that there was going to be an injury or a cut or something by Corey Sandhagen. I really thought that he was going to cut Davison Figueiredo and, mess up his scarred tissue from his previous fights, because Davison Figueiredo's old. He's taken a lot of damage. I thought Corey might cut him, doctor stoppage, but it was a doctor stoppage, but Davison Figueiredo blew out his knee when reversing a position. When Corey Sandhagen was pushing him out of a position on the ground, Davison Figueiredo blew out his knee, and Corey Sandhagen got a nice ground and pound TKO. It was a kind of a doctor stoppage, but it was like a injury TKO. Good win by Corey Sandhagen. Dominated the entirety of the first round. Nice ground and pound. Davison Figueiredo just never seemed like he was in it. He was going for heel hooks. He was going for weird submissions off of his back, like just really weird stuff. Corey Sandhagen stayed the game plan, looked like he wanted to finish this fight. He finished this fight in nice fashion, and I think he deserves either Sean O'Malley or Marab. The winner or loser, either or, man. He deserves a higher shot, and he deserves a shot at that belt, man. Corey Sandhagen, great win by him. But that is the entire breakdown and recap, boys. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop it down in the comments what you guys thought about this card, and I will catch you boys in the next one. See you.